Let's get right into it. Today's explainer is about an urgent, massive, and honestly accumulating legal violation that a huge number of non-resident Indians are committing right now, completely unaware. If you're living abroad but still have any financial ties to India, you absolutely need to hear this. Picture this for a second. You moved to the US, say, 5 years ago. You pull out your phone, open your standard HDFC or SBI savings app to send a bit of money to family, maybe pay a couple of bills back home. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but FEMA says that account has actually been illegal since day one. Imagine a giant red FEMA violation stamp just slamming right down onto your phone screen. Because that's literally the reality of keeping a standard resident savings account open after you move abroad. So, what's the actual rule? I can explain this FEMA obligation in about 10 seconds. The exact day you become an NRI, your savings account must be converted. Period. There's this super common and frankly dangerous myth floating around that you get 182 days to figure it out. You absolutely don't. Under FEMA rules, your intention overrides duration. The second you board that flight to relocate for a job or long-term studies, your residential status flips. Operating that old resident account? Boom, immediate violation.
And, well, that brings us to the penalty. If you only remember one single shocking thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Failing to comply can cost you up to 3 times your entire account balance. Or there's a baseline fine of 2 lakh rupees plus an extra 5,000 rupees for every single day the violation continues. Just think about that. If you left a dormant account open 3 years ago, that daily penalty alone adds up to over 50 lakh rupees. It is an absolute compounding nightmare.
Now you might be thinking, hey, I've been doing this for years, no one noticed. Well, the 2026 Automated Enforcement Net is changing the game entirely. People used to get away with this because the tracking was manual, but not anymore. With the new Form 168 Annual Information Statement and automated reporting, the tax department and your bank's KYC systems are catching these mismatches automatically. They see your foreign income, they spot the data mismatch, and snap, the trap closes.
So, what actually happens when that trap shuts? Indian institutions are strictly mandated by the Reserve Bank of India to restrict your transactions. They will literally freeze your unconverted accounts entirely. When their periodic KYC sweeps pick up that you're logging into net banking from a foreign IP address, like Dallas or Dubai, or if they see visa details showing you live overseas, they are forced to lock you out of your own funds until you comply. No questions asked.
And this brings us to a huge red flag. The government strictly prohibits mixing your money. You've got domestic income in India, and you've got foreign income abroad, right? If you try to dodge the 30% TDS, that's the tax deducted at source, by hiding your Indian rent or dividends in a tax-free foreign account, that's called NRE/NRO arbitrage. And it's a severe FEMA violation that brings intense regulatory scrutiny right to your doorstep. You need the right accounts for the right money.
So let's rapid-fire the 3 legal accounts you actually need to have. First up is the NRE, or Non-Resident External Account. This is strictly for your foreign income. You send your US dollars or euros here, it gets converted to rupees, and any interest you earn, completely tax-free in India. Plus, it's fully repatriatable, so you can move it back overseas whenever you want without any hassle.
Next is account number 2, the NRO, or Non-Resident Ordinary Account. This one is basically the bucket for your Indian income. Got an apartment in Mumbai generating rent? Mutual funds paying out dividends? That money has to go here. Now, the interest earned on an NRO account is taxable in India, and if you want to move it abroad, it's capped at $1 million a year and requires tax clearance. Finally, we have account number 3, the FCNR, or Foreign Currency Non-Resident Account. You can think of this one like a highly secure vault for term deposits. It lets you hold your savings directly in foreign currencies. Dollars, pounds, euros, which totally protects your hard-earned money from wild exchange rate swings.
Okay, take a breath. Let's move to the ComFix, because honestly, this builds into an incredibly simple process. Converting that illegal resident account into a legal NRO account just takes 2 quick steps. 1. Notify your bank and submit your NRI KYC documents. And 2. The redesignation is done. That's literally it. In most cases, your account number doesn't even change. Your direct debits and bill payments just keep running seamlessly. But now, you're 100% legally compliant.
But here's the harsh reality check. The compliance responsibility lies entirely with you, the account holder. You really can't just wait around for your bank to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, shouldn't you convert your account? They aren't legally responsible for informing you of your FEMA status changes. Keeping your KYC updated and protecting your assets, that is entirely your legal burden to bear.
Now, if you're sitting there watching this, realizing you've been violating this rule for the last 5 years, don't panic. The recently updated FEMA compounding rules of 2024 actually offer a really specific, structured path to settle these kinds of technical violations voluntarily. It gives you a way to declare the oversight, pay a capped, totally manageable penalty, and just resolve the whole thing cleanly. No endless litigation, no frozen funds.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you really have to ask yourself today. Are you genuinely willing to risk a massive daily penalty, like 5,000 rupees every single day, just to keep an old, dormant resident savings account open? Is the convenience of skipping 15 minutes of paperwork really worth risking 3 times your account balance? The clock is ticking on these old accounts, guys, and those 2026 automated systems, they are not going to look the other way.
It's time to act and protect your hard-earned money. If you're an NRI and you're even a little unsure about the status of your Indian bank accounts right now, do not wait for the bank to freeze your funds. Send me a direct message with the word savings right now for a free FEMA compliance check. We will help you figure out exactly where you stand and get everything converted properly. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Stay compliant, and I'll see you next time.